Have you ever dreamt of a holiday in the Bahamas? Or maybe you want to check out Buckingham Palace? If yes, then I suggest you book your tickets now because by 2050, some of the most loved travel destinations may be underwater. Hey guys, it's Cherry and welcome back to my channel. So in this week's video, we'll be looking at the devastating impacts of climate change. As many of you know, climate change is one of the most pressing global challenges of the 21st century. And while many people argue that rising global temperatures are a natural and normal part of life, the increasing pace at which it is happening is a serious concern for us all. According to the 2021 report by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or the IPCC, global warming could reach 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2050 if significant changes are not made. This could lead to declining biodiversity, 70 to 90% of coral reefs will be gone, more extreme weather conditions, and things like poverty and malnourishment will become more common. So in order to respond to climate change, we must first understand the underlying causes. While some degree of climate change does occur naturally, since the Industrial Revolution, the rate has rapidly increased due to anthropogenic or human actions. Several of our actions have led to increased greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, and these gases absorb heat that have bounced off the Earth's surface, thus leading to global warming and climate change. Some sources of the enhanced or man-made climate change include: Number 1. Deforestation. Plants and forests are known as carbon sinks, meaning that they absorb carbon dioxide, which is a form of greenhouse gas. CO2 stored within these sinks is known as active, meaning that it will be released back into the atmosphere once the plant dies. In a natural system, this isn't much of a problem because the carbon released from one tree is reabsorbed by another. However, deforestation or forest clearing has meant that hundreds of thousands of trees are cleared in one sitting to make way for agriculture, urbanization, and more. As a result, tons of carbon dioxide is rapidly released into the atmosphere. In fact, recent studies have found that we release over 1.5 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year due to deforestation. And with no available carbon sinks, the CO2 builds up in the atmosphere, absorbing and trapping heat. Number 2. Agriculture and farming. Livestock such as cattle and sheep produce methane, which is another form of greenhouse gas. A recent study found that in an average diet, beef consumption alone creates nearly 900 kilograms of emissions annually per person. In addition to producing a lot of methane, livestock requires a lot of land, water, and overall resources and is therefore not the best choice for the environment. Number 3. Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels like coal have been used for decades as a cheap and reliable source of energy. To be able to use these resources, we must first burn them. And the burning of fossil fuels releases significant amounts of carbon dioxide. Australia largely contributes to the world's carbon dioxide emissions, and according to the WWF, Australians create 4 times the average amount of carbon dioxide pollution compared to the rest of the world. Approximately 73% of electricity produced in Australia is sourced from fossil fuels. Additionally, these energy sources are known as non-renewable as they take millions of years to form, and they are currently being used faster than they are being produced. This is one of the main sources of climate change. Now, there are 2 main types of solutions: adaptation and mitigation. Adaptation focuses on addressing the effects caused by the problem rather than fixing the problem itself. For example, if you're in a ship that is sinking due to a hole, an adaptation solution would be to grab a bucket and start dumping the water out of the boat. In this case, you are addressing the effect rather than the problem. Some adaptation responses to climate change include building seawalls around coastal regions or elevating infrastructure to address rising sea levels and ensure that cities aren't flooded. Reduce, reuse, and recycle things such as fabrics, plastics, and water to conserve resources. And finally, favour drought-tolerant crops to ensure that we still have enough food supply during dry months. On the other hand, mitigation techniques focus on addressing the source of the problem. Referring back to the sinking ship example, a mitigation solution would be to fix the leak. This way, the source of this problem is being dealt with rather than the effects. Some mitigation responses to climate change are protecting our forests against further deforestation and planting more trees. Around 15 billion trees are cut down every single year, and that means, on average, every single person around the world is cutting down 2 trees per year. We must preserve our remaining forests and plant more vegetation, as this will significantly lower CO2 emissions. Another thing we can do is limit our consumption of meat, especially beef. If the demand for meat decreases, the need to farm livestock will also go down, therefore resulting in less greenhouse gases. Finally, prioritising renewable energy sources, as this will provide major environmental benefits whilst also providing reliable energy. Unlike fossil fuels, renewable energy is also more sustainable as it does not deplete with use. Examples of renewable energy sources include solar, wind, and hydro. So in my next few videos, I'm going to be going into more depth about the different types of renewable energy, so stay tuned for that. If there's any renewable energy source that you're most interested in learning about, make sure to leave a comment down below to let me know. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!